right? Did you start recording? Yes, okay. And don't forget to share screen during your presentation. I will first introduce Tuba to you. All of you know her, but still, we have some guests. She graduated from Bosphorus University, Tourism and Hotel Management, and she also studied Anatolian, Public Relations and Communication at Anatolian University. She also studied in San Diego State University, certificate program, and training in an American company, corporate experience, certified practicing yoga instructor, Socratic storyteller, and motivational speaker. She was born in Istanbul in 1976, and tonight she will deliver us her presentation called Festina Lente. So with your applause, I invite Tuba Ozar to start her presentation. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Rafi. Now I would like to attract your attention by saying Festina Lente, which means hurry slowly. Almost everyone complains about the hectic pace of their lives, but no need to complain. We should change our attitudes and our mindsets firstly. So I would say, don't hurry, be happy. Now I want to take you to a Festina Lente journey. So enjoy the scene, friends. As we transition from birth to death, we age, we learn, we flow in and out of relationships. We move from place to place, we flow through time. Life is one great flow. We seem so preoccupied with speed, unfortunately. We want everything to be not only fast, but better yet instant. We want everything on demand. But speed drives you away from yourself, and slowness drives you closer. You see the pace slide here. Pace is, growing resource and community seeking out ways to find center point in our daily lives. People are turning to organic foods. Homeschooling is becoming commonplace. People are downshifting. The slow food movement is gaining popularity. So why is this happening? What is wrong? What are we searching for? The one thing that is coming to all these trends is connection. We want connection to people, ourselves, our family, our friends, and connection to life. We want to live a connected life. Our fast-paced life has weakened these connections. Slow living is living in a more balanced, meaningful, and purposeful life. That's the next slide. Do you ever feel like you are struggling to handle too many things at once and don't have time to stop and smell the beautiful roses? Well, you are not alone. Almost everyone can relate. It's all about focus. Living in the present, be mindful of thoughts and actions, moving your body, eat healthily, helping others, find joy in the little things, make time for family and friends, and breath. Yes, health is wealth. Here you see that the fear of missing out psychology problem. This fear of missing out has become very pervasive in this society. It's a term that's used to describe the anxiety of missing out on opportunities that others are experiencing. It's that irrational belief that everyone is always having more fun than you. This competition consumes your life. You should overcome this mindset by slowing down, friends. Yes, this is the very famous common Festina Lente logo, as you see here. Festina Lente saying is an oxymoron, which takes two contradictory words and brings them together to create a single deeper meaning. For instance, other than the Festina Lente word, the true leader always follows. This is a Carl Jung said that. And yes, this is, I think, slide explains this. And I want to mention you that there's an intimate bond also between memory and slowness. This is something very important. When you move too fast, everything becomes a blur and nothing remains with you. It harms your memory. If you think about your walking or running, wherever you go, you will experience what I stated. Yes, in the hustle and bustle of life, the true success comes to those who discover and balance their routines of life. As a homework, I would say, do less. Look at your to-do list and start cutting things out of it. Drop one thing a day and let more oxygen into your schedule. We need to reconnect with our inner turtles more urgently than ever before. Now I want to share you about the history of the Festina Lente symbolism, because Festina Lente is full of at the history, this philosophy. Now I'm going to share at this slide the meanings of these symbols. Here, the humanist instructor Aldous Manutius, one of the most important printing presses of the Renaissance, used a dolphin wrapped around an anchor as a symbol of Festina Lente. Here, another symbol, Paolo Giovio, an important humanist of the time, used another example of the symbol of Festina Lente in his 1574 book Camino della Imprese as the image of a crab and butterfly. Here you see the crab and butterfly. This symbol was originally used by Emperor Augustus Caesar and was printed as money at that time. The interesting thing is that, according to Roman Republican traditions, coins minted by the owner of a Trumbur Monatellis at that time should show symbols to emphasize the importance of ancestors, noble families, mythological origins, or a monument financed by his own family. But this symbol comes as a different surprise in this coin that the Caesar printed. This is another famous one. If you have been to Italy, maybe you have seen this. The Medici family used this image of Festina Lente with a sail attached to the back of a turtle. In Florence, yes. In the stained glass windows in the Laurentine Library, you can see this image. In the decorative stone and woodwork in the Palazzo Vecchio, and in the Boboli Gardens. Another one, this coin printed by Titus Vespasianus, the Roman Empire who destroyed Jerusalem. It's a circle and means infinity. Here, the anchor refers to slowing, and the dolphin refers to speed. That's the meaning. This is an interesting one. In this image of the Arab alchemist Avicenna, pointing to a chain that links a toad and an eagle. It expresses the tight connection of opposites with one another, the description of a principle of nature that transforms nature and has healing powers, the connection of spirit and body with each other. This is something, my favorite motto, to rise to the top increases knowledge, to descend increases wisdom. These are some proverbs related to Festina Lente. The devil gets involved in the rush. Work is twice done by the man in a hurry. Slowly but surely, the bird builds its nest. Yes, I completed my presentation now. Hope you enjoyed.
Okay, well, thank you, Tuba Ozar, for this lovely presentation. You completed much quicker than the budgeted time, which is 20 minutes, which means that we have some extra time. Normally, we would have our question and answer session in the break, after the break, but we still have 15 minutes before Zoom tells us to.
We have 15 minutes.
Before Zoom, yes, we have 15 minutes. So during these 15 minutes, we can get some questions from our participants. But, excuse me, just a moment. So, those of you who have participated before, and especially those with Toastmasters background, know the criteria of the question and answer session. For those of you who are new, let me just recap. We want everybody to get a fair share in asking questions. And this means we have to use time effectively, which means that every person should use the minimum possible to ask a question. For that reason, we have a 30-second limit for the question. This means we don't make any speeches before the questions. We directly ask the question. We ask only one question. If we have time, and it seems that we will have time, we will have a second round, perhaps even a third round to ask our questions. So just ask one question. The question should be related to the subject, nothing outside the subject. And we don't ask follow-up questions. We don't make a conversation with the speaker back and forth, because this is not a conversation meeting. This is a speech meeting. We have conversation meetings for that purpose. If you have not listened to the presentation, that is, if you have joined late or you received a phone call or you for some reason you didn't listen to it, then you are welcome to participate as a listener, but to ask a question, you must have listened to the presentation. So these are our criteria. First, I will ask for volunteers. And please keep in mind that you have 30 seconds. Please do not go longer, because what you do, if you go longer, you are taking the time, you are using the time of other participants, and they may not get a chance to ask a question. So if we have a volunteer, you raise your hand if you're a volunteer, and I will give the word to you. If you're not asking a question, mute yourself. If you're asking a question, unmute yourself, please. Any volunteers who would like to ask a question first? Raise your hand. Welcome, Yeshimona. Right, I don't see the hands of Güneş, Nilgün, and Gökhan because they don't have pictures. But what you can do, if you don't want to be seen, you can just send me from chat that you want to ask a question. Well, in that case, I'm going to have to choose, unless there is a volunteer. Mustafa, let's start with you, because last time you didn't ask questions, Mustafa. Let's have a question to Tuba.
When I see Festina Lente, I think city slow. There is some city slow city in Turkey and other place. Maybe there isn't Lodi. Population is a little, and no air pollution. Usually interesting tourist. Is same idea, same. What do you think? Can we live city slow area about Festina Lente?
Thank you, Mustafa. Yes, it refers to that slow living city. That's what you are talking about, especially at the south part and at Asian part. There are some cities which you are talking about, the slow living cities. They use this Festina Lente slowness philosophy there, started by minimizing their food style, because this is also related about your food culture as well, and the population, minimized population. Yes, this is referring to that too. Sitta slow, that's what you are talking about. Now I remember, it's Sitta slow cities, which is related to slow living. So many people who are living in that city supporting this philosophy. I could give an example, Foça, Seferihisar, and some agencies. These are selected as a Sitta-slow city in Turkey, that they are using this philosophy. Festina Lente, mindfulness, slowness, all these things include in that Sitta-slow city. If you want to move that kind of city, if you choose to live in a slow motion, slow life, if you prefer, you can move to that Sitta-slow city in Turkey.
Okay, thank you, Tuba Hanım.
Okay.
Now, any volunteer? We have a few more minutes. We can just, okay, yes, Razia. We have just a few minutes before we close. I'm going to ask both Razia to be brief in the question, and Tuba Hanım, please be brief in your answers as well.
Okay.
Let's be brief both in the questions and in the answers so that everybody gets a chance. And we have just a few minutes to close. So just
Okay,
yes.
Thank you for your nice presentation. So if I understand correctly, you were talking about a slower life, enjoy more. So I'm wondering if you have any personal recommendation in our daily life. I recognize that you say that do a to-do list and cancel each day one job. So what else do you suggest to us?
Okay, nice question. It's important, the golden rules. There are ways of slow down, actually. When it comes to relationships, for instance, at relationships, focus on quality, not quantity. This is also a way of slowing down thing. Avoid doing two things at the same time. This is another thing at your business, for instance, at your business. Your priorities at your business. Work and life balance. You should balance your work and life. And find your passions. I would advise you, if you find your passions, maybe you can a little bit slow down your life too.
Mm-hmm.
So these are shortly my advices to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Tuba. Now, dear friends, Zoom is about to cut us off. We will take a 10-minute break. During that 10-minute break, you can do whatever you want, but 10 minutes later, for the continuation of the question and answer session, please come back with the same meeting ID and the same password. So see you at the moment, it's 8:30. See you at 20 to 9. So see you at 20 to 9. I'm closing the meeting before Zoom does. See you.